When we think about life, the days that go by, the problems we face, it seems that sometimes we are caught in a net from which we cannot free ourselves. We get stuck in the knots of existence, in the constraints of situations that did not loosen. The risk is that at some point we adapt or simply do not find the strength to break free. And we realize that we always need someone else to come and remove the net in which we are trapped. In today's gospel, we find that beginning, that first call that is repeated in the life of every man and woman. We are all called to go behind him, to be freed from the nets in which we are caught, perhaps even from the nets of a dull everyday life. We are invited to rise up like Jonah, to come out of our fears. The gospel presents us with a Jesus who is not content to observe from afar the nets that imprison us, but who comes close, who calls us to follow him. Come after me, and I will make you fishers of men, is his proposal. A proposal of liberation, of transformation, of rebirth. Interestingly, the first disciples, in spite of their nets and their daily activities, do not hesitate to leave everything and follow him. There's a stronger call, an awareness that in this follow me lies the key to untie the knots, to free oneself. That's why Jesus walks along the sea. We could say along our places where we risk our lives. He meets us there. The sea is, in fact, for a Jew, an image of the storms that sweep through life and takes us far away until we die. Jesus arrives there in the evening when the nets are thrown out and remains there throughout the night until dawn when the fishermen put up the nets they have used for their work. You see, at night we are not alone. So Jesus stays there and makes his voice heard. While Simon and Andrew were casting their nets to begin fishing, James and John were setting their nets. This is how Jesus meets them. At two moments in their lives that may have a broader meaning. They are the beginning and the end of fishing. Two extremes between which there are so many other moments of a night's work. Hope, discouragement, joy, enthusiasm, or habit. Whatever the situation we find ourselves in, Jesus calls us to follow him. Like the fishermen who were called to go behind him and become fishers of men, we are invited to leave the nets of our daily lives, to trust him who walks on the sea of our challenges and difficulties. The invitation is to stand up, to overcome our fears and insecurities, to trust him. In this discipleship, we are not alone. Jesus is with us, removing the nets, leading us to deeper and more meaningful waters of life. Jesus offers them, first of all, a relationship. If in John's Gospel, like last Sunday, this relationship was expressed by the invitation to stay with him in his house. Here, the relationship is expressed by a commitment to follow him. It is the relationship with Jesus that is liberating and fills our ordinariness with meaning. Jesus transforms our lives, not because what we have been doing up to now is not good, but simply in order to put what we are at the service of something greater. And Jesus does not want to destroy our identity. He wants to enhance it. I want to make you fishers of men. You were fishermen, and you will continue to be fishermen, but in a new way. When Jesus invites us to follow him, he does not say that we are not good for anything. Rather, he recognizes what we are and asks us to give him our identity so that he can make it work. This is the occasion to accept the challenge to continue to follow him in a new way, not in a habitual way. At the end of the day, either we follow Christ unreservedly, allowing ourselves to be captivated by the seductive proposal of his itinerary, or we remain there, living the life we have always led, locked up in our insecurities, with our bored, our needs, our affections and friendships, perhaps more reassuring from the point of view of human stability and certainties, but decidedly precarious and not very open to the encounter that challenges, that changes our lives, and that will lead us to understand who this Jesus is who proclaims the kingdom of God in our midst. Look, the kingdom of God does not impose itself. It is looking for men and women who are willing to accept it and to rely on the gospel. The invitation is to be fishermen, not mere analysts. Once the Dalai Lama said, there are 2 days in the year when ye cannot do anything. One is called yesterday, the other is called tomorrow. So today is the day to believe, to do, and above all to live. So let's not waste any time.